Yo, so if y'all are an atheist or a religious minority, you probably already know this, but if you're like a moderate Christian, or maybe even just an extremist who's feeling particularly open-minded today for whatever reason, you should watch this video. Basically what it talks about is how, well, I mean, it's better if you watch the freaking video, but, basically it talks about how, even though we all celebrate, like, Christian holidays and stuff, like, people who are very much into the Christianity, they always think that we're all trying to, like, hate on them for being Christian, and that's not it. But a lot of them also, well, you should watch the video, but basically, like, they're very pushy without realizing it. Some of them realize it, but you know what I'm trying to say. Just watch the video. But yeah, I would like to say, I actually identify as my own religion that I made, but to make it easier for, like random people who are curious about my religion, but not like super curious, don't want to have like a protracted conversation, I just tell them I'm an atheist because that makes it easier. So I pass as atheist a lot, so like I have like a deep respect. Um, and I bring that up. Oh, sorry, there's a frame I have to cut out of the video because a friend just texted me, so I'm going to repeat myself. So I have like a deep respect for the atheist community, and then also I feel like us religious minorities have to stick together. In America, you're a religious minority if you're not Christian, but like from a worldwide perspective, you're a religious minority if you're not part of the big three. So that's like neo paganism, old school paganism, uh, any like local religions, uh, any of the fun ones, or atheism. Like, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, I got into an argument with this one atheist because he was telling me that, uh, man, I can't even remember now. But I was like, there was some Facebook post, and then someone was saying like basically the title of this video, but in Facebook post form, they were saying like, I'm sick of Christians pretending there's a war on Christmas and stuff like that. So, so then, like, somebody else commented, like, amen to that, and I was like, yeah, I agree, because personally, I feel like if Jesus was real, ever, and then, people, he'd be horrified to see what people do, like, in honor of him, like, trying to hurt people. I mean, he wasn't about that, but then this other guy was like, actually, he totally was, and that's why I hate all the Christians. And if you are a sympathizer, then you too, sir, are evil. And I was like, okay, well, listen, I'm not trying to do no apologetics, but I believe that people have the right to be wrong as long as they keep that wrongness and they don't try to like make it other people's problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mom paused the video, but she was just letting me know that the cat was done being a troublemaker. Yeah, his big brother got a haircut, and so he was picking on him. Anyways, yeah, basically they were telling me like trying to make me feel bad because I was like, some individual Christians are actually pretty good people, so you shouldn't just like hate on an entire religious people group. Like, generally bad things happen when you hate on an entire people group. And then they were like giving me flack for it, but like, bro, as long as a group of people is a group of individual minds and hearts, there will be variation within that group. And even if that group is generally pretty bad, there's still a possibility that one of the individuals might know that and be trying to make a positive difference. So my mom's telling me I'm loud now, and I'm like whispering, so I'm getting real ticked off. I mean, I'm not mad at her. I'm just irritated that even when I try to be quiet, I fail. Probably because I'm like hard of hearing or some shit. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, watch this video because this is good. I feel like if you're like a moderate Christian, you need to watch this to like what is the word? Like protect yourself from getting indoctrinated into like being a cranky Christian. Um, and if you're not Christian at all, you might just enjoy watching this because you'll relate. Uh, but yeah, um, more or less, I think us religious minorities need to stick together. But um, in this one particular case, this one guy was being a little bit pushy, trying to say, if you're not with me, you're against me. And that's the exact same shit that I hate about the religious extremists, okay? Because if he was a real atheist, he wouldn't need me to also be an atheist. Okay? Let me rephrase. I'm sure he's really an atheist. But I mean, if he was believing atheism in order to be his more authentic self, he wouldn't care if anybody else believed in it. But because he needs everybody else to like also like hold his hand and agree with him, that's just like a huge sign of emotional immaturity in my opinion. Same thing with anybody who tries to like convert people to their religion. There is a reason that my personal religion that I don't think I have a name for it, and if I do it didn't really stick. But like my personal complicated like weird made up religion, it's got a global follower count of 1 so far as I know. Mom told me to be quiet again, but like the point is though, I'm not trying to convert nobody. I talk about it sometimes, but only when I'm feeling like pious. I'm not necessarily trying to like get mad at you for not being the same kind of weird as me because I'm living my authentic life and I don't need you to like validate my experience by like joining my cult. It's not a cult because it's got a follower count of 1. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it irritates me that like, you know, it's not even like a group of people that irritates me. It's just that attitude that anybody can have where you're like, you're either with me or you're against me. Like, shut up. There are gray areas. You need to chill. You know what I'm saying? Alright, see y'all. Bye. Okay, I was in the middle of editing and I realized that, while most of you are probably gonna be cool about this and not care, some of you might get, like, uncomfortably obsessive about it, so I'ma just, give you the Cliff Notes version of my personal religion so I can satisfy your curiosity. My religion, or religion in air quotes, in a nutshell. First of all, these are the two primary key points. Its canon changes as I age because I learn and grow, so my framework of the world should learn and grow, I personally feel. So it's more of a metaphysical framework than like a proper, like, dogmatic religion. But I do still lean into it to find like spiritual strength every now and then, like personal motivation and, like sense of purpose, like that kind of thing. Um, some themes that stay constant. Oh, and some themes about it do stay constant though, and those include a non-agentic origin to reality. So I don't believe that God created reality. I believe reality, unless you want to call reality itself God. So there's a loophole there if you want it. Um, but I believe that reality just kind of like self sparked, if you would. Um, and my various like head canons for how that could have come about, those changes at age. And then parallel and cyclical outcomes for logical contradictions. If you make a false statement in a formal or predicate logic, it just doesn't compile. It's considered like you should ignore it because it fails. But I personally feel like if you have like a logical statement and its outcome is unclear, then all possible outcomes are the outcome, at least in parallel. But also, if its outcome is predicated on its own outcome, so like if the statement is false, but then being false means that it's true, making it a paradox. I personally feel like that also just makes it a clock, because pendulums swing back and forth, so why can't logical statements? I believe in a quantized reality, so I believe that there's a way to interpret the multiverse that looks kind of like a QR code. Um, uh, and I believe that it's. Never mind. And I believe in non deletion, so I believe that anything that ever was always is. Um, and I believe in timey-wimey bullshit, but the details vary depending on my personal self at the time. They will change in the future, and they currently are not what they currently were. Um, and then metaphysics. All right. I believe in metaphysics that treats cosmic truths as a form of immersive metafiction. So, when you die, or when you hallucinate, or when you dream, you're like entering a personal, like metafiction, but it's fully immersive, sort of like cyberspace. So yeah, so that allows for a lot. There's a lot of wiggle room in my personal religion. Uh, oh, for example, deities, deism, all that jazz. You could believe in that. Various ways you could work that in. Same thing with like monotheism, and somehow it makes them get along just fine. So it's a very interesting thing, but it's also um, the details they change, but these themes within it usually stay constant. Because I like these themes, and it's my religion. I'll make it the religion I want it to be. And as I grow and change, that means it will grow and change. So yeah, basically it's just this more or less though. So you're good. All right, see you everyone. So for the more science minded, basically I believe that on a metaphysical level, all universes arise from a process that is like a kind of cellular automata, but it's also kind of like a fractal. It's just expanding into itself. So you could view that as like a very small, sort of like the stable portion of the Mandelbrot, like the very fringe of it. You could also view it, however, as like a singular, non-quantized entity with, what do you call them? Scalable vectors that are branching inwards. And even though those are like opposite ways of viewing, like it's either like a pixelated thing that's like slowly increasing in resolution, or it's like a lightning bolt like thing that's just like reaching into itself. Those are two ways of viewing the same thing in my worldview. Just two completely different ways of modeling the exact same behavior. So that's all. All right, see ya.